Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. My name is Mike. I'm here with Jamal, and the markets are trying to catch a bid here, but that hasn't been successful the last couple of days. We've seen some violent sell-offs from recent highs. Micron earnings, they crushed it, and then the market got crushed shortly after. But we got to bring in Tim Knight. He has lots to. Yes, we have to. We want to. We need to.
Need to.
Lots to talk about. Lots to discuss.
I do have a chart or two we can bang through.
Cool.
I was thinking about it during my morning dog walk because I'm very cautious because I've been doing my show solo for 13 years or however long it's been. I'm not accustomed like other humans. So I'm like, I have to caution myself to not like show up and just be like, blah, 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 like I always do. I have to pause now and then. So if I'm too chatty, just honk a horn or something. I'm happy to stop. But let's go through some charts just because. So yeah, old Micron kind of threw me for a loop yesterday. And it turned out to be a pretty good day, but wow, what a strange episode that was. I've been doing this a long time. It's not often you see like, instant sell off the moment the market opens. But there's a little bit of the fever's kind of broken in semi land. Micron's down a couple of percent. And I have no position in it, but some semis looking pretty lofty, pretty tired. AMD is a good example. For the past couple of weeks, it's just been kind of hanging out here in the ionosphere with no real mojo left. KLAC, as did some yesterday, even with the big pop, did not violate its price gap, so that managed to stay put. So I've still got a variety of shorts in the tech realm. This was another very close call, very close shave here. Western Digital WDC pushed right up against that gap and then has retreated. One that, boy, has gotten so expensive, has thousands of dollars now, Sandisk, SNDK. This one, I'm not touching. It's still, it used to be like a $20 stock. Now it's like approaching 3,000 over the course of a year. But this uptrend still is intact. The ding-a-ling I just heard was I just got stopped out, but at a profit of EWY. When yesterday, when the mayhem started, I actually had the presence of mind to short South Korea EWY. I got kind of spoiled by this drop right here. We had a nice fat tumble, on this day right here, which I guess would have been Monday to Tuesday. And so I shorted it again yesterday, just got stopped out because we sealed that little price gap there. So that was an unexpectedly short trade, but it worked out.
Wait, Tim, before you move to Bitcoin, I want to stop real quick and back up to Sandisk because I think it's a good point to be made. Like, yes. You're right. Look, I'll be the first to tell you, as much as I'm kind of bullish on the market, there's a lot of these names that are a little long in the tooth. But this one, there's nothing longer in the tooth than this one. But you said that you're staying away from this one. Talk about like why you're staying away from this one versus some others.
Yeah. Well, I guess that, the uptrend's clearly intact. I tend to short stocks, and frankly, the kind of position I would choose would literally be like 4 shares on this. So it's so expensive. The granularity is kind of messed up. It's not like I never ever touched it. I actually shorted this to ill effect, not too nasty, a day or two ago. But, it's this thing, I don't know what the fundamentals are, clearly exceptionally valuable right now, but the uptrend's not broken. In sharp contrast to, say, like Palantir, which, surprisingly, I'll just bang this up real quick. Palantir, everyone was just madly in love with until a few months back. And what a sea change has taken place there. I mean, this thing has just absolutely turned. So we can see that back, say, here, that was a very clear, unbroken uptrend. And that's when everyone was gaga about it. And it takes some time, but it kind of hammers out a distribution top. And as you can see now, we've had this like long multi-month slide going on. So that kind of shift, you can't perceive it at the time. I always think of charting as sort of like a painting with a cardboard over it, and you slowly reveal the painting. The painting's already there. It's not like predeterminism here. So we slowly show the painting. And you've got to kind of guess, okay, what is it? And that's kind of what we saw analogously Palantir to Sandisk. So this, Sandisk might be amazing short right this second, but that's just a guess. It's completely a guess because all the way up you can keep guessing like that and keep getting your hands burned. So yeah, there's no reason to from a charting perspective.
Gotcha.
So
awesome.
You got time for just one more?
Sure. Yeah, one more.
Okay. Just one quick mention about Bitcoin. A few moments before the camera clicked on, I went ahead and covered my Bitcoin short. It's not coming up, but I'll just talk about it. I had been long BITI, the inverse Bitcoin. By no means do I think Bitcoin is like, turn the corner. It's a great thing to own now. But it's been a good week from the crypto short perspective. So I decided just to take profits, be done with it, stop sweating it out on that. If we get a bounce, I get back in again. But for the moment, I think poor old Bitcoin strategy, STRC, Ethereum, they've all been just battered. So I'd rather watch it bounce and try to get in a better price.
I like it. Yeah, that's going to be the talk of the town once it finally does, if it does, because I think eventually people are going to start stepping in and buying this thing. But at what level? That's the question.
Right.
Well, Tim, appreciate you.
Okay.
We'll see you a little bit later.